we have Miranda, who played Grammy. Grammy died
Yep.
horribly, murdered. But welcome,
It's
Miranda.
tragic. Everyone
Well,
cried.
welcome here. Welcome. Great intro. We were talking about your blanket before we started. I want
Oh
to check this
yeah.
out. I want to check this blanket out that you
Yeah.
said you
No, this is
drew.
actually like some of my art. Oh no, it's
No,
blaring. There we
no.
go.
Let me see
Oh,
it.
Oh
that's
no.
awesome. I see a dice. I see a skull, a shield, a potion,
Yeah,
fire.
I got like some coins and stuff.
Hey,
Got like
dude,
little
that's
That's
awesome.
scrolls.
cool. Someday when Val gets our merch store up and going, we'll have to figure out how to sell your blanket on there.
Look,
I mean, like hit me up. Yeah.
dude,
I'll
I
like
paid
make you guys a
$1,000.
special one. It'll have a boat.
Dude,
It'll have
that's
it'll have
nasty.
little hands sticking up out of the water where they're drowning.
Dude, that's really good. You sent us when we did character descriptions. I saw your character of Grammy.
Yeah. Yeah, the picture I drew a Grammy.
Yeah.
Look at
She's
her.
so good. She actually has
Oh my.
her knitting needles with her.
Yeah.
So
No.
I do want to ask this: does Grammy have a backstory? One, why did you pick to play a grandmother? First of all, it's going on a boat. Was it because it was just the night before? I'll let you answer that.
Um,
And
Here,
does she
one
have a
second, I'll let you
backstory?
finish.
No, and does she have a backstory? That's
Oh,
all.
yeah, I'd actually kind of thought of this character like before, but I fleshed her out like the night before. I imagined that she was just like a little grandmother who was just like cozy at home, had like lived her whole life and stuff. Oh, we got another pause screen. Oh, it'll
Really
come
good
Uh,
one.
back.
On
There
the
we go.
phone, on the
There
phone
you
from
go.
France, Miranda.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Um, and I think she was just like talking with like one of her grandkids, or she was like, or like her grandkids were telling her about like stuff that they were doing. And she's like, oh, that sounds fun. And so they were encouraging her to like get out of the house.
Yeah, go,
Or
Grammy.
I
Go,
don't know.
Grammy. You'll
She's
be
like
fine.
trying out retirement and stuff. And so she just came up with a bucket
Go
list
see the world.
and
That
she's just
is.
been doing weird stuff.
What did
Look,
she do? What did she do? And even you got to make it up right now. What did she do before she actually took this voyage? Did she do anything crazy when you say fun, crazy stuff? Do you have anything in mind?
Oh yeah, like she's been arrested. She's like, I want to know what that's like.
Grammy's been arrested.
I think she did it very politely.
Okay.
And
Okay.
like,
just a night in the drunk tank. She just went down to the tavern and just
yeah,
got
she's just
rip
like sitting there
roaring.
politely, like just knitting, and she's like, oh, this is exciting.
That's so awesome.
Just like talking with everyone else
Starting
who's
bar
in there. It's like,
fights.
so what are you in here for? Mm, like murder? That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Just stitching away.
Yeah, I remember seeing Grammy on the table and thinking it's an odd name. And then you hit me with the sewing needles thing, and oh
Yeah.
shit, really?
Oh yeah, she's
playing
just
grandma.
legitimately just an ancient grandma. Like,
So
and then she saw a boat, and I think she's like, oh, it's either like a cruise or she's like maybe we'll see pirates.
yeah,
Because I think she was like, she's like, oh, I've never been on a boat, and I've never been on a boat that was like attacked by pirates. She's like, boats are attacked by pirates. Let's give that a shot.
did you think you were going to get a Kraken? Everybody thought
Oh,
we were.
I had like no freaking clue what was gonna happen.
Yeah, but we had a whole bunch of like I thought for sure we were going to get a Kraken. No,
You know what we should
inspired
do?
twist.
Not yet.
We should do a side campaign of Grammy's grandchildren looking for her because they definitely don't know that she's still missing. I mean, they don't know that she's missing. 'Cause
Oh,
they got
absolutely.
back.
trying
I
to
was
do?
actually kind of wondering
I'm
like
just
what
saying.
was going on with them.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm just
also
saying.
she's like one of those ladies that like if you talk to her for more than 5 minutes, she's your grandmother
Yeah,
now.
Uh-huh.
that's why I pictured her too.
Like you heard that story about like the lady who accidentally invited that one kid to Thanksgiving, and now it's been years and he still just comes to every Thanksgiving. That's Grammy.
Yeah,
He's like, well, I got a plate. You hungry? Come
Mhm.
by.
Yeah, that's we back when people ordered pizza by telephone. My mom wasn't allowed to call the pizza place because she would order the pizza and then talk
Yeah.
with the guy for like 40 minutes. We're like, dude, get off the phone.
And the guy's like, please, ma'am, I can't
Yeah,
hang
I
up
gotta
on
go.
you.
Yeah, I gotta go.
We
She's
had-
outside smoking and drinking wine. So why'd you go there?
there's this old guy in Michigan that has screwed up a phone number
Mhm.
of somebody that he knows, and in the last like month and a half, he's been randomly calling me and leaving me voicemails.
I've been with him like
So-
6 times when he calls.
Yeah, he'll call like back to back, and he's just this old guy. And I did a wellness check on him, and that didn't help out. And then then finally I got one of his voicemails. He's like, "Hey, it's me. Just thought I'd call. Needed somebody to talk to." I'm like, okay. So I just called him, talked to him for a little while,
Yeah.
and then
You have any cool
finally,
stories?
no, I couldn't hardly
Oh.
understand anything he was saying, but I talked to him for a little while and was finally, because this isn't the first time I called him. I called him back a couple times, just like, "Hey, sir, this is not the number that you're trying to reach.
This
I
is
am
not the number you're
I'm
looking
not
for."
Tanya."
We don't know you're
I'm-
not Tanya.
I'm certain that I'm not
Well, I
Tanya.
don't know you are.
I mean,
But-
not with that outfit.
You might have come down here, tried to change your identity, change your name, start a new life. I don't know what you did back in Michigan.
There's a way to add flavor and flair and go in random directions. We've added a game where you roll a percentile die, and I have a list of 100 questions in front of me that I wrote the good ones and Vale wrote the dumb ones. So, Miranda, if you want to roll and tell me what you got, and we'll see where the dice take us.
Okay.
See what it did there?
I got 87.
87. This is a pretty good one. This is definitely one that I wrote. What dragon breath weapon would you choose and why?
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be one that exists. It could be.
Oh, I could like make up my own dragon breath
Sure.
weapon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Froze
I'll
again.
think while my screen comes back. There it is. I don't know. Now that you said I could like make up my own, now I'm trying to just think of something weird. Like the
Heavy.
first thing my brain came up with is like nachos. Like a nacho dragon. I don't know.
A nacho dragon,
Ooh.
dude. It's a
Yeah.
nacho dragon. So would it be cheese?
Is it just the chips,
actual
or is it
chips
like-
that come
I think
out?
it's
Is there,
like I think it's like chips and cheese.
And salsa and sour cream?
His
No, I think you
scales-
got to add those on. You can't have it like
You can't-
mix up
yeah.
too much.
Come
No,
on,
no.
that's a
Just
whole
the
different-
chips and cheese.
that's a
Don't
whole
be
different
stupid,
dragon.
Rusco. Don't be stupid. No, his scale should be nachos. He should be
Oh, the
just squirt
scales
cheese.
could be the chips,
Yeah,
and the
he
breath
should
is the cheese,
All right, this is devolved.
and his
just-
blood
quickly.
is the salsa.
But he just when he walks, like chips fall off of him.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Yeah, nacho dragon.
Okay.
Nacho dragon, dude.
Yep.
Couldn't have saw that coming. See how fun the dice game is? There's no way to. You
Dude,
can't.
that's a cartoon, Rusco.
You
Nacho
can't
dragon
have-
is a cartoon.
You can't have a conversation and just randomly walk into a nacho dragon.
The
topic.
Adventures of Nacho
The only
Dragon.
way to do it is these questions. All right, hit me again, Miranda. Let's see. See what else we get.
Oh, I got 100.
Wow.
Ooh, you win. Nothing.
Yay.
There's nothing to win.
Oh, oh darn.
Have you ever played an evil character?
Um,
I don't picture it. I can't picture you playing just a
I-
murderous.
I can.
like I think I get all my evil tendencies out like with like my big bad NPCs for like games I run.
Mhm.
Cause like I'm one of the people who like if there's an evil option in a video game, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play a bad character. I'm gonna be like a big bad guy. And then I do it and I'm like, I feel mean.
Yeah, then I convert them to good.
Yeah, and then it's
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
can't
I'm
play
hurting I'm hurting the little shopkeeper's feelings.
Oh,
The
it's-
best I can do is like
And then I just
chaotic
get
good.
sad.
Dude,
Yeah.
the only reason why I platinum Fallout, any of the Fallouts, is because I had to be a good character. I was bad in all of Fallouts. And I was like, I'm tired of talking to you, and I don't
Yeah.
like what you're saying.
We-
Sorry,
we're-
sorry.
Unconcluded. You're a sociopath. You're a psychopath.
I like all my characters. Miranda have been bad. They start out good in Dungeons and Dragons. They all or D&D. They all start out good, and then for some odd reason, it's like
They go crazy,
they go nuts.
and then they
I don't
start
know why.
murdering people. It's not a clue. It's not a sign of things to come. It's not a
It's
red
like we
flag.
definitely won't psychologically read into this. We can't make any statements for sure.
But I'm like the nicest guy I know.
Now, like what about
Val's-
later in your character arc?
Yeah. So was Bundy.
He was, but it was never nice.
He was the
Let's start
nicest.
talking
He
about-
was such a regular. Okay, we can't go into that.
Oh
road.
yeah, don't do that. We're gonna get canceled. Dude.
Yeah, I don't think we can
Yeah,
go
I
on
thought
that
you
road.
said that was Val's job, and now you're the one bringing up serial killers.
Yeah. my fault.
Everyone,
fault.
everyone knows that John Wayne Gacy was the more charismatic.
Okay.
one.
No, let's. Okay. Diverting. Okay.
Gonna bring her back.
roll again for me, Miranda. Let's see where we go.
33.
33.
I love that number. That's my 3 is my favorite number. That just means double up.
33. What's one misconception of gamers you think people get wrong? I think that was a Val question because it's worded poorly. What's one misconception? What do you think is a stereotype of gamers that people have that is just not right?
Honestly, my first and kind of boring answer is like, I always like, there's always people going, it's like, oh, like kids who play video games are more violent and blah, blah. It's like, and there's a bunch of research stuff that says, no, they aren't. Because I mean, like, they're just playing Stardew Valley, like, leave them alone. And there's like a whole bunch of like research there, which I won't get into here because I imagine that'll just drag us down.
She gave you a smart, intelligent answer. That was awesome.
But yeah, but that's like one thing because like in one of my classes, like we were talking about that and like it's like, okay, is this like a thing you guys agree with? Is this a thing you don't disagree with? Like, like what do you think, students?
They did.
And then there was a bunch of people who were like, yeah, video games did. And I'm like, you guys are my age. What are you talking about?
Like there was a study done. They were wondering the aptitude for people moving into young adulthood, their ability to shoot. The military noticed that their ability to shoot was better.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
And
like shoot guns,
yeah,
or just shoot.
They've probably been like practicing in like
the natural ability to like pick up a rifle and shoot a target was getting better, and the only thing that made any sense was it's that generation that grew up playing Modern Warfare and video games.
But I would still stand by Miranda and say that the video games is not what doesn't make someone bad. It might make them a better shooter, but it doesn't mean that they're going to go do what they're going to go do.
We're not getting into the politics.
I'm just saying that I just got my Orion camo on Call of Duty. What's up? And I don't see a lot of assholes being able to quick snipe. That's all I'm saying. And I can do that. I can jump around and quick snipe.
Wow. Someday I'm going to have to come over and you can show me how.
Yeah, you should come over. I'll show you how.
There's nothing more annoying than watching somebody else play video games. I hate it.
I agree. Well, just so Don Spire can put this to bed, video games don't make you a bad person. We love video games. Period. Michael Rusco.
No, they don't make you. They don't make you a bad person. You're born that way, right, Val?
Yes.
Tell them.
Yes. You are born broken, or you're not. It's that simple.
And Miranda, thank you so much for being here and being on our show. And,
do you have a social media or anything like that you would like posted?
Oh, yeah, sure. Like all my art stuff, I go by Pathstrider for all my art stuff. It's like an anglicization of my name.
But don't tell the internet what your last name is.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not telling the internet. Like I'm not telling them what that. I mean, like I'm besides like they, like if someone's gonna dox, they gonna.
Val couldn't even turn his ringer off for this.
That wasn't my phone. How do you know that was my phone?
Because your green box lit up.
Yeah, then you reached for your phone.
We know where the noise came from.
Damn green box ratted me out.
Thank you so much, Miranda, for joining us. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.